Good afternoon, everybody. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV. We are here to do a news roundup today. There's a few stories I wanted to cover. Didn't feel like any one of them was its own stream, but I wanted to cover all of them. So we're doing a stream where we cover a bunch of stories. We do this once in a while when this kind of situation happens. So we're going to bring you coverage of several stories, and we're going to take your comments and questions on the air. Also, if there's new news on other stories, we can talk about that as well. But we're going to do that. I very much appreciate you being here. Hey, special shout out to Stephen Roberts for your support of the channel. That's really kind of you. Stephen Roberts, thank you so much for all of your support. Also, all of our moderators, too. Janet B. and Beth Mythical over there on YouTube. Roberts May Queen, thanks for moderating today. And, A to Z as well. By the way, A to Z, thanks for your support, A to Z. I appreciate that. One Way Street is also moderating, thank you. Roberts May Queen, I think I said Roberts May Queen, but I'll say it again. And thanks to Duck Vision as well. Thank you so much to Duck Vision. That's very kind of you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And also on Twitch, we have LB Prairie Dawn is modding right now. Thank you. Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha moderate for us on X. Oops, I'm hearing two things. Shannon Davis Hughes is moderating. Kay Lowry Body. And all of our other moderators, thank you. And thanks to Alex, I'll say Alex B. Alex B. King 7 for the membership. Thank you, Alex. All right, so I think where I'm going to start is I want to start by talking about the Tom Homan story because it just came out when we were coming on the air. So we'll start by talking about the Tom Homan story, and then we'll get to the other stories. Oh, and thanks to Barb Mac, too. Thank you, Barb Mac. The David story we will definitely get to. I know some of you who don't know who David is, but he's a very popular singer, and a body was found in a car registered to him 12 days ago. And it's a whole investigation, and it's really unclear what's going on. But I'm going to hold off on that. Let's just talk a bit about the Tom Homan story. Then we'll get to the other stories. Because the Tom Homan thing just came out. So here's what's going on with Tom Homan. Tom Homan is the White House border czar. Okay? So there is a news story by MSNBC. And I know some of you are going to say, MSNBC, I'm going to stop listening. But, I mean, I would generally encourage you to listen on either side, whether it's MSNBC reporting it or Fox News or whatever, and see what the actual story is before you shut up your ears. So what MSNBC is reporting, they're saying that the FBI last year recorded Tom Homan accepting $50,000 in cash after saying that he could help people to get government contracts in the second Trump administration. So I want to say that again. MSNBC is claiming that the FBI, that there was an investigation of Tom Homan last year, and they're claiming that the FBI actually recorded him accepting $50,000 in cash after telling undercover agents that he could help them win government contracts in the second Trump term. Now, at the time, Trump was not elected yet for a second term. They say this happened. They say this recording happened on September 20th, 2024. Another part of the story, again, I can't confirm the story. I'm just telling you what the story is. The story just came out before we came on the air. Another part of the story, is that the Trump Justice Department shut down the investigation. So I'm going to tell you a statement. This is a statement from FBI Director Kash Patel and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. This is according to MSNBC. This is a statement from them. FBI Director Kash Patel and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche said, "This matter originated under the previous administration and was subjected to a full review by FBI agents and Justice Department prosecutors. They found no credible evidence of any criminal wrongdoing. The department's resources must remain focused on real threats to the American people, not baseless investigations. As a result, the investigation has been closed." So, FBI Director Patel and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche confirmed there was an investigation, and they confirm that the Trump Justice Department shut down the investigation. They did confirm that. They didn't get into specifics. They didn't say there was no investigation. They said this investigation this matter originated under the previous administration, and the investigation has now been closed after it was reviewed under the Trump administration. Now, one question you might be wondering is someone going to leak this video of Tom Homan, this supposed video? As I said, I can't confirm this. It's a very specific allegation in the story. The allegation says that on September 20th, 2024, hidden cameras recorded Tom Homan accepting $50,000 in cash from FBI agents, undercover FBI agents posing as business executives, after Homan allegedly promised them that in a second Trump administration he could help them win government contracts. So again, I'm just passing this along. I don't know if it's true. It's a very specific allegation. Molly Morgan says, if it's true, then they need to show us video. I have posted the link to the story on my X account. I'll post the link in the chat. You can read the story. It talks about more details. It talks about, well, if he did this, if this is true that he did this before Trump was elected for a second time, what could he be possibly charged with and not possibly be charged with? It talks about that in the article. So it gets into these details. I do think that you will be hearing more about this story. Now, again, for the umpteenth time, I cannot verify the story. It's quite specific. And again, for what it's worth, the director of the FBI and the deputy attorney general did confirm there was an investigation under the previous administration and did confirm that it got shut down under this administration. They said it wasn't, the quote from them was that they did not find credible evidence of any criminal wrongdoing. But they did confirm there was an investigation going on. So it's not that there was no investigation. There was an investigation. That's just been confirmed by the FBI director and the deputy attorney general. Now, I said that I think you'll hear more about this story going forward. So, for example, just to show you, I mean, I'm guessing you'll hear Democrats talk about it. I don't know if you'll hear Republicans talk about it. But just as an example of this, already I saw this. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democratic House Representative, has already posted on her X account, "Who's the illegal now, Tom Homan?" And she posted on top of she linked the Carol Leonig MSNBC story about this. So, you know, it kind of feels like I would be surprised if this is not in the news more, whatever you think about it. It's a Saturday afternoon, and it's kind of a quiet time for it to come out. But I have a feeling you'll be hearing more about this. Obviously, if a video is leaked showing the claimed video, as I mentioned, the story does claim that on September 20th, 2024, the undercover FBI agents were recorded on hidden camera, except they were recorded having Tom Homan accept $50,000 from them. I have no idea if that video will ever see the light of day. If there is such a video, I can't confirm that. That would be a big deal as well. Another thing I don't know is, did Tom Homan know before this? So I can't say if this is true, but did Tom Homan know before today that he might have been recorded by hidden cameras? And that it sounds like he was under an investigation because the FBI director and deputy attorney general are not denying that there was an investigation. So, I mean, is it possible that Tom Homan never knew that there's a supposed hidden camera tape? Or is this something he's just known about and now it's somebody leaked it to the press and now it's getting reported? I don't know. What also is going to happen now is other outlets will look into it and see if they can find out anything. Because the only one reporting it right now is MSNBC. I want to take some cut. So one of our viewers said, what would the crime be? So I will post the link to the article again. But according to the article, they talked to some experts in the article. And according to the article, a crime he could be charged with is conspiracy or fraud, such as conspiracy to commit bribery. I am not a legal expert, so I am not going to start weighing in on legal aspects. The article does actually spend some time talking about the legal aspects of this. So, it really just came out before, as I was coming on the air. Mike J says, I'm sure other news networks are looking into it. Yeah, and I will say this also. My guess is that you're not seeing it reported other places because this MSNBC came out with it and other places are like, oh, whoa, we didn't know about that. So, there certainly are going to be places that want to look into it and see if they can corroborate some version of the story. Now, maybe none of them will actually do that. Or maybe some other outlets will come out and say, well, here's what we heard about this. Right now, the only one I see reporting about it is MSNBC. And then I'll also say this. I would not be surprised if President Trump posts about it. I would certainly not be surprised if he says something about it. He might say something about it today. We'll have to see. By the way, a quick thank you to, I want to take some more comments from you guys. Our new members, Ethan Dart and Gresh Lang. Thank you, Dennis Kennedy, for the memberships. That's so kind of you, Dennis. I appreciate that. Please thank somebody if they give you a gift membership or a gift subscription, like Dennis just did. Thank you, Kurt Cobain, our viewer. Georgia Peach. Thank you, Georgia Peach, for your support. Also, Shraki over there on Twitch, thanks for subscribing. Brava Alpha Echo for subscribing. Thank you. Hold on a second here. There might even be more about that comes out while we're on the air. So I'll have to just check it out. It's just, again, it's one outlet reporting it now. It's one news outlet. So you're not even seeing the other outlets report on it yet. I'm sure a lot of them are looking into it. Now, Democratic politicians, I'm not surprised about this, that Democratic politicians are commenting on this. As I told you, I have no idea if the story is true. I don't know if there is footage. There clearly was an investigation of some sort because the director of the FBI and Deputy Attorney General said there was. But I can't confirm anything in the story. But as I told you, AOC posted something about it. And now Adam Schiff, senator from California, who is no fan of the Trump administration, he has also posted. He says border czar Tom Homan was caught by the FBI accepting bribes on camera to deliver government contracts in exchange for $50,000 in cash. Again, I don't know that that's true. Now, if there is a video, there's a video, right? So, like, the allegation is not, well, somebody called us and told us this. The allegation is that there was this investigation involving the FBI and that this video exists and it was taken on September 20th, 2024. So it either exists or it doesn't. But anyways, so Adam Schiff is talking as if this is definitely true. I have no idea if it's true. Adam Schiff claims that Pam Bondi knew, Kash Patel knew, Emil Bove knew. I keep meaning to look up how to pronounce Emil Bove's name. Is it Bovey or Bove? I'm going to look it up right now, and I'm sorry that I don't know. He is currently a appeals judge. Bovey. It's Bovey. He was the Deputy Attorney General from January to September. Adam Schiff believes that the Trump administration made the investigation go away, and Adam Schiff believes it's a corrupt attempt to conceal brazen graft. As I said, I don't know if the story is true or not, but we're now seeing some prominent Democratic politicians post about it in the moments in the aftermath of it being reported. Also, my guess is you might see some Republican politicians coming out soon and saying this is nothing and it's lawfare or it's fake reporting or whatever, or fake news. So if I start seeing that, I'll show you some of that as well. But I do think you'll hear more about it. And another way you could hear more about it is there will be other outlets looking into it. And if other outlets find stuff that they think is new and reliable, they're going to post about this too. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I have no idea. Let's see here. D thinks Schiff is corrupt. Yeah, we're also going to be talking about yesterday's shooting at the ABC10 building in Sacramento. Hang on a second here. So I'll check back in a little bit on that story and see a little later in the broadcast if there's any more reporting going on or commentary about it or anything like that. But it just came out before we came on the air. All right. Now, with that update done for the moment, I want to talk about David. I also want to say one thing. When I report on some report that's come out that's not confirmed, it never fails that people watching who are upset about the report blame me. And it's one side or the other. So for example, a bunch of you probably remember when I was reporting on the various outlets that were saying that the Charlie Kirk shooter was had a roommate who they were in a romantic relationship with, and the roommate was transitioning or transgender, and I reported that, and I said, look, I don't know if it's true. There's several outlets reporting it, including Axios. It seems to be well sourced. And I got so many people saying, I'm disappointed with you. You're terrible. How could you? This is awful. This is garbage. And what I was saying is, first of all, I didn't say it was true. And second of all, I was reporting it because it seemed to be decently sourced. And I was not telling you had to believe it, but I was saying, look, I want to let you know that these sources are reporting on this. And I got so much hate and negativity and people saying that I'm awful. And that's from one side. Now, when I talk about this story, and it's a similar thing, it's a story, and I say repeatedly, I don't know if it's true. I say, here's who's reporting it. What do I get? I'm disappointed in you. How could you do this? You have an agenda. So it's just the other side. It's the same thing, but on the other side. So at a certain point, no matter what I say, someone's going to be upset about the news itself, and then they'll blame me. Well, don't blame me. I'm not telling you what to believe, and how many times do you want me to say I don't know if it's true? But, I mean, it's just the same thing. No matter what the story is, I'll be getting it from one side or the other. But it's just funny because that was just a few days ago, and it's like the exact same thing on the other side. Anyways. Also, not a single, just as an example, I mean, I could go back example after example after example. Not a single person who, for example, yelled at me online and berated me online and told me how disappointed they were that I was mentioning that the Charlie Kirk shooter story. No one apologized at all. I mean, to me, the problem isn't that, the point is not that it turned out to be correct. The point is that all I'm reporting is, this is the source, this is what they said, they're a major news outlet, you can believe it or don't believe it. So at a certain point, that's important to me. I would hope that as critical thinkers, my audience could distinguish between somebody saying, hey, here's the source, here's what there's reporting, I don't know if it's true, and somebody else just saying, oh, this thing is true, right? That's two different things. I would hope that people can understand the difference between those things. So, if I tell you, hey, a bunch of outlets are reporting this story, and it turns out to be false, well, that's going to happen sometimes, but I didn't say originally that it was true. I just told you a bunch of outlets are reporting it. I don't know if it's true. So, you got to be able to distinguish between somebody saying, oh, this is true, and, look, these outlets are reporting the story. I can't tell you if it's true or not. I'm letting you know about it. Okay. Anyways, that being said, we haven't had a discussion like that in a while, but I thought it was appropriate just because it's just funny, just, several days later, just getting it on both sides from people. Okay, hang on a moment here. I am writing something down to talk about a little later. All right, we mentioned the Tom Homan story. We're moving on for the moment. And we're going to talk about David. We haven't talked about David yet. I actually think the David story is a big story. It's very concerning. Hey, a quick thanks to Stacia S. She says it's funny this Tom Homan story comes out today when the Charlie Kirk event is tomorrow. It gives those news something for tomorrow to distract. I can't say why the Tom Homan story came out today. Somebody leaked the story, it sounds like, to MSNBC. I don't know who, I don't know when. Thank you, Joanna Crompton and Purple Oryx, our members, and Buddy Love. Thank you, Buddy Love. Okay. And CC 143. Let's talk about David. Oops, that doesn't show you anything. By the way, I do have a couple cameras that I'm keeping an eye on. A lot of times I have access to these cameras, cameras looking into northern Gaza from Israel. I mean, nothing is going on at the moment on these cameras much different than the usual, which is, once in a while you see a flash or something, but I'll keep an eye on them. If there's anything big, I can switch over to them. But for the moment, I just want to let you know I have them in the background here. All right, so, okay, so David, when you see d4vd, I know that might be confusing, but it's pronounced David. His name is David. He pronounces it David, but the way it's written is d4vd. So it's David. So now I know a bunch of you don't know who David is. His fan base tends to be younger, but he is very, very popular. He is a singer-songwriter who emerged over the last several years. Go look up his videos like on YouTube. I think he has as of a few days ago, he had over 2 million Instagram followers. But like, if you go to YouTube and you look up his channel, just to give you a sense of how popular some of these songs are, and you look up, how many views there are on these songs, if I can find it here. Well, sorry, I can't play the songs. I don't have the rights to the songs. A lot of the, Feel It has 37 million views. Sleep Well, 33 million views. There's ones with more. How about Here With Me, 246 million views. He's very popular. Romantic Homicide, 183 million views. So he has a whole interesting story where he was originally focused on playing video games online, and he would use music on his streams, and he started getting copyright strikes. And he says he went to his mom to vent about this, and she was like, well, just make your own music. So he just started making his own music using his phone, and people loved it, and he got super popular. Well, what happened is, on 12 days ago, 12 days ago, there was an impounded Tesla in Hollywood, in LA. The Tesla had been sitting on the street for a number of days. LA Times said they heard it was 5 days. So it got towed. It got taken to a tow yard. And then at the tow yard, they smelled something funky, something bad from the car. And it turned out there was a dismembered body in the car. And that car, that Tesla, is registered to David. But it doesn't stop there. The body in the car was identified as belonging to a missing girl. It's Celeste Rivas. I have to get the exact name. I want to make sure I'm not missing it. Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And at the time of death, she would have been 15 years old, but like just recently turned 15. She had been missing since April of 2024, at which point, if I have this right, when she went missing, she was 13. By the way, singer David is now 20. But the body was dismembered and severely decomposed. And then furthermore, so that's another thing. Then you started seeing emerging reports that David had been hanging out with this girl, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. TMZ has posted what it says is video of them together on a live stream. Let's see what the latest they're saying is. And there's, hold on a second here. I'm going to get you the latest from them. I cannot play you the rights to it, but I will post a link where you can see what TMZ says is David and the now deceased Celeste Rivas Hernandez on a live stream together. They're just hanging out doing a live stream. And I think they've shown pictures too. I have to go back through the stories, the TMZ stories about this. Let's see. Yeah, they had a story a few days ago. Singer David, new video with homicide victim Celeste Rivas. Also, they had reported TMZ that David and the victim have matching tattoos. I thought they said at some point there was a photo of them together, but I'll have to look up for that. But there is they did a whole story about them being in the same video together. So again, now nobody has been arrested. Nobody has been charged. I'm not aware of any warrant being issued for anybody's arrest. There's reporting that says, oh, another thing, if I have this right, I want to make sure I'm accurate about this, but I believe a home was searched by police near where they found the car. And it's near where the car was originally impounded. Remember, this car was sitting on the street for days. Then it got taken to the tow yard. But the story, if I have it right, is that the reporting is that police have searched a home from near where the car was, a home that David had been staying in. The LA Times says that they heard from police that on Wednesday, police searched a home near where the car was towed from, a home that David was renting. So there's, and he is supposed to be on tour now, David, but a bunch of the tour dates have been canceled. And so again, the girl that was missing, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, when she was found, she would have been 15, but just turned 15. But, she went missing when she was 13. And also, TMZ says that in the video they posted, which they say is a video of David and the now deceased Celeste Rivas doing a live stream together, TMZ says that that video was shot in January 2024. Okay? That's what TMZ says. If you do the math of how old she would have been during that video, she would have been in that video 13 years old. Because according to the Riverside Sheriff's Department, a poster they had posted, her birthday was September of 2010. As TJ says, if I have to go back and look up David's birthday, March 28th, 2005, says Wikipedia. Yes, so, well, actually, and so in 2024, January, he would have been 18 and she would have been 13. All right, let me show you some more about this. I'm also going to show you, this is the local LA news outlets have posted this poster, which was originally posted by the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, the missing person poster. I'm not going to show you anything graphic. So, but just to show you here, this is the missing person announcement that was originally made by the police. You can see it says Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Last seen April 2024. In Lake Elsinore, California. She went missing when she was 13. So she was identified as the dismembered, severely decomposed body in a Tesla that was in a tow yard that was towed from the street where it had been sitting for days, if not longer. She was found in this Tesla that was sitting in a tow yard in Hollywood on 12 days ago, September 8th. The Tesla is registered to singer David. According to reporting, like the LA Times reports, the Tesla was towed from near a house that David had been renting. The LA Times reports that police searched that house on Wednesday. As I mentioned, TMZ has a video that they say is a video from January 2024 of her with David doing a live stream. Holographic, one of our viewers, holographic statue says his Reddit is insane with information. Yeah, I am not up to, I have looked at the Reddit and some other online stuff. People have been posting a lot about this online. I am not up to date with all the latest rumors and everything. But, so I don't know that he was involved in this. I'm not, first of all, condolences to her family. This is a girl who was found, she was found in the car on September 8th, which would have been, where's the date of birth? Yeah, she would have turned 15 the day after her body was found in the car. So it kind of sounds like, if you assume that the body had been in a car for a few days, then it sounds like she died when she was 14. That's what it sounds like. So first things first, condolences to the family who had this girl go missing and now she's dead. So you can see here, teen girl's body found in impounded car, registered to the singer David. There's a picture of David right there. Where is David? I have to look up on this. I don't know exactly where he is, like today. I haven't read that he's fled or anything like that. But he has canceled recent shows. Some of you probably know where, have much more updated information than me if you've been on Reddit all day or whatever. But his shows have been canceled lately. Look at this. David tour dates removed from websites after the discovery of a girl's body in Los Angeles. It's really, really disturbing. The whole thing is very disturbing. Why is he not in police custody? Well, blank asks, you need to have probable cause to do these kind of things. So you have to have, you can't just take somebody into custody legally because you think they did something. You need to have, so one reason would be that they don't have enough evidence to tie him to a possible crime. You need evidence. It's also possible that they have a degree of evidence, but they want to do some more investigating before going out and taking anybody in. I don't know. I can't speak to that. But again, you can't just take somebody in because you feel like they did something. You need to build a case that, my understanding is that if you want an arrest warrant, you have to convince a judge there's a probable cause of a crime that somebody did. So, okay, so let's talk a little about this. I'm going to take some comments here. Yeah, now Je suis Charlie says, don't these Teslas have cameras all around? It's a good question. I've heard this brought up. If the body's found in a Tesla, would Tesla have cameras running even when the car is not on? That might be activated when somebody comes near the car. What I don't know is, were cameras active? Did somebody disable the cameras somehow? It's a great question. I don't know. I don't know. But it's a fair question. Oh, someone asked, I'm sorry, this is a different question. I did want to mention this though. Yes, we will have coverage tomorrow of the Charlie Kirk Memorial. We will have coverage of it. I can get footage via Reuters, for example, an AFP. So we're going to have it, we're going to be showing it live, and we'll come on a bit early. President Trump is supposed to be speaking there. So my plan is to do coverage tomorrow of the Charlie Kirk Memorial. The actual start time for the memorial is, I forget. It starts at 2 p.m. Eastern time, but we'll come on sometime before that, maybe 1 or something, or a little earlier. Hold on a second here. Maybe 1 or something, but we will be covering this tomorrow. So thanks for mentioning that. Sorry, and real quick before I get back to this, I just want to thank a couple people. Thank you to Right E, Nina Drew, Yelena Piz Chalaska, who says innocent until proven guilty, LOL. James Burns, Breezy Bree, our member, Sir Pepe says, could this have been a setup by bad actors to send a message? Look, I have no idea what happened here. Could somebody get a hold of his car and have done something to this person who he had ties with and left the car outside of this house that he had been renting? I don't know. So I have no idea what happened here. We'll have to see what the police end up saying about this as they investigate. They were just at this house near where the car was towed from on Wednesday, according to the LA Times, collecting evidence, a house that David had rented. Thank you to John Homan, Martin Gingrich, Bass 300, and H, and Sir Pepe. Thank you, Sir Pepe. I appreciate it. Thanks for recommending the channel. And also, hold on. Hang on a second here. Shelley and Joanna Crompton and Stacia S. And also 33 Prince of World AB Plus on Twitch for subscribing. Edu Makashun on Twitch for your support. CC143 on for your support. Limey Show for your support on Twitch. Oxytropus for your support. Joe Dirt Hockey as well. And Trocky. And also, thanks again to our moderators who are here in our chat rooms. We have moderating right now Sabrina, Roberts May Queen, and all of our other YouTube moderators. On Twitch, Bastion Girl, LB Prairie Dawn, Matthew Kohai 3, Sarah and Tariag. Thank you. By the way, Stasha Morgan on Facebook says, why was the vehicle impounded? Because it was sitting there for days or longer. It had been, I guess, reported by people who live in the area, I believe, if I remember right. I'll have to check some of the reporting on this, but if I remember right. But it was sitting there for a while. Thanks, Margaret Riley, Shannon Davis Hughes, Kay Lowry, Body for moderating on X, on Facebook, I'm sorry, Linda Belk, Misha Larry moderating on X. Thanks also Lisa Holmes for the stars, Thomas Hall for the stars, Thomas Hall, and Kristen McConnell Gates for the stars on Facebook. Okay. Complex Research says the victim's mother said she had a singer boyfriend. She said a singer boyfriend named David. Yeah, so I believe TMZ reported that the mother said she had a boyfriend named David as well. We're going to go over some of this stuff right now. But I will say, I mean, I was familiar with David before this came out. And he's very, very popular. And to start hearing this stuff, I remember I first heard that a body had been found in a Tesla. And I was like, oh, that's terrible. But then you start hearing more and more, oh, the Tesla belongs to David. Oh, the body is a 15-year-old dismembered girl. Oh, there's a video out of that supposedly is him and the girl. Anyways, so let me just read you a little of this from AP. David tour dates removed from websites after the discovery of a girl's body in Los Angeles. The last two remaining dates on singer David's tour and multiple stops in his upcoming European tour have been removed from ticketing websites as authorities continue to investigate the discovery of the decomposed body of a teenage girl in Los Angeles. And I mean teenage, but young teenage. I want to emphasize this. She would have turned 15 on September 9th. The body was found on September 8th, reportedly. So it sounds like she died when she was 14. That's what it sounds like, So just to be clear, police have not said David is implicated in the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, whose body was found at inside an impounded Tesla earlier this month. Celeste, again, they say 15, but 15 as of September 9th. She was reported missing last year when she was 13. Several news outlets have reported that the vehicle, the Tesla, was registered to David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, 20. His representatives have not responded to requests for comment, and police have also not publicly said whether the singer owned the car. So to be clear, those are media reports saying, but I want to say some of these media reports are from police sources, but I'll have to check. But media reports say, multiple media outlets say he owned the car. David's scheduled performance in San Francisco on Friday was marked as canceled on the venue's website. His last U.S. tour stop in L.A. on Saturday was removed from the venue site, and both events were marked as canceled on Ticketmaster. Something else about this, another aspect of this story, is that he has been touring. His tour just started. I want to say, when did his tour start? In August? I'm going to look it up here. But you can go, for example, on YouTube and see videos of people recently at his tour shows. So, where are the tour dates here? When did it start? According to the official website, the tour started on, it doesn't have it. It just says September 19th. I'd have to look this up. I want to say it was August. Ooh, do I have it? I have a poster here. Yes, I found a poster which said it starts August 5th, I believe. Early, August 5th or 15th. It's hard to say. But 5th, I believe. Anyways, he was touring in August. So This was an international tour. But so there's this whole other question of like, wait, this car is sitting there. The girl's body is in it. So did he know something had happened to her? And if he did, he was just touring and not mentioning it? So that's a whole other question about this. So, I mean, it's not like David has been in hiding for a year. He's been touring until recently. Okay. I'm going to take some comments in a second. It's a short article. I just want to finish the article. David also had a scheduled appearance at the Grammy Museum in Los Angeles on Wednesday. The event, which was listed as sold out a few days ago, has been removed from the venue's website. Representatives of both venues, as well as David, did not immediately respond to AP's request for comment on the status of the tour. Yes, it says right here, the Houston-born singer-songwriter, he's supposed to have a new album come out, but I think the album has gotten delayed too. The Houston-born singer-songwriter began the North American leg of his tour in early August and was set for Europe in early October. At least 9 of his European dates have been canceled on Ticketmaster, including the first stop in Norway on October 1st. Some dates as of Friday were still available. I'm sorry. This says the album was released in April. I read something recently. I'm sorry about that. So I guess the album was out. But I read that there was supposed to be a release of something that was delayed. I just read it, I think today or yesterday, that some sort of release of his was delayed. So I'm sorry that I messed up because apparently the album is out. I can tell you that. Sorry to fans of David who know way more about him than I do. But I have to see what that was. Yeah, the album was released on April 25th, so that's my bad. But I swear I read that something was going to be released of his soon, and it got delayed. Let me see if I can find it. Anyways, I apologize. David is popular among Gen Z, mixing indie rock, R&B, and lo-fi pop. He went viral on TikTok in 2022 with the hit Romantic Homicide, which peaked at number 4 on Billboard's Hot Rock and Alternative Songs chart. He then signed with Darkroom and Interscope and released his debut EP and a follow-up. An unnamed representative for David told NBC Los Angeles the singer has been cooperating with authorities since the body was found. It's not clear why his car had been impounded. Other reporting said it was just sitting there for days. Rivas was last seen in April 2024, about 60 miles southeast of downtown Los Angeles in Lake Elsinore. She was 13 at the time. Her body was found severely decomposed. I have read that it was dismembered. But the LA County Medical Examiner's Office said in a statement, her body was found severely decomposed. Her cause of death has not been determined. And again, this is the picture this is the missing person poster that had been released by the Riverside Sheriff before she was found. And you can see it says she was last seen in April 2024 when she was 13. As I also mentioned, TMZ has posted a video that it says is her and David doing a live stream in January 2024, which would be before she was missing and also when she was 13 and he was 18. I'm going to post a link to that in the chat as well. I can't show the video, I don't have the rights to it, but you can go to the TMZ link and see that. All right, I want to take some comments from you guys on this. So I've been waiting for more information to come out about this, and just to let you know also, to repeat, the LA Times reports that detectives searched on Wednesday a home near where the car was found, a home that David had rented. Now, let me just make sure, because the LA Times said he rented a home near the car. So just to be clear, he rented a home near the car and detectives searched a home. I don't know if I want to make this clear. I don't want to misquote somebody. The LA Times definitely said they searched a home in the Hollywood Hills rented by David. And they also said that a home, the car had been found. They said the car was found around the Hollywood Hills. In the air from the area near a Hollywood home. I can't speak. Let me say this one more time. The LA Times reported that police said that the car was towed from the Hollywood Hills near a home that David had rented. They also said on Wednesday that police had searched a home on Doheny Drive north of Sunset Boulevard, which I believe some would call the Hollywood Hills, I used to live in LA. So, but just to be clear, I don't think, if I can correct myself, I don't think in this article the LA Times said that the home search was the home that he rented. Although I have to check other articles. Also, NBC Los Angeles said also that Wednesday night, police searched a home near where the Tesla was abandoned. Oh, also, NBC reports 4 law enforcement sources tell NBC that the home that was searched Wednesday was connected to David. Okay, so NBC reports that the home that was searched Wednesday near where the car was found, near where the car was abandoned, was connected to David. Also, NBC Los Angeles said neighbors said the car had been parked for more than a month. Okay. That's according to NBC Los Angeles. They say neighbors said the car had been parked for more than a month before it was towed. Also, I don't mean to be graphic here. I'm not going to show you anything graphic. But just to be clear, KTLA, which is a LA news station, they reported that the body found was dismembered. And NBC reported that the remains were found in a bag. It's really terrible. And NBC reported the remains were not intact. It's one of these stories that like all of these every detail makes it like a worse and worse story. So again, I don't know if he was involved. We'll have to see what police do and say about this. Let me take some of your comments on this. John Doe says Teslas have cameras. Slippy thinks it's hard just to pin it on him legally if he owns a bunch of cars, homes, etc. He could claim he allows lots of people to use his cars and homes. They need hard evidence. So I understand your point, Slippy. One thing to keep in mind is that there is purported evidence that he knew and hung out with the victim. To repeat, TMZ posted a video of them doing a live stream together that they said is from January of 2024. TMZ also said that the mother of the victim, they talked to the mother of the victim. The mother of the victim said her daughter had a boyfriend named David. Also, TMZ reported that David and Celeste had similar tattoos on their finger, a similar tattoo on one of their fingers, each of their fingers. A sh tattoo. They both had a sh tattoo on their right index finger, according to TMZ. Also, TMZ said they have a photo of David in Lake Elsinore, a 6-minute walk to Celeste's family house. I can't really comment on that, but yeah. Also, I believe, Dubstep said they both had Discord and some social media thing. There may be, I have to be careful here because I can't remember exactly what I've read about this over the last few days. But there may be other ways in which they are tied together. Also, like, there's other stuff here, like he has a song where he mentions the person Celeste, right? I have to find the lyrics here. What is it? One of you guys. Oh, yeah. Kyle says he has an unreleased song called Celeste. I'm seeing, for example, hold on a second here. Yeah, so for example, Genius.com says that Celeste is an unreleased song allegedly about a former partner of his, which was recorded in late December 2023. And it talks about Celeste. Now, if it really was recorded in December 2023, that would be 1 month before the video of them in a live stream together that TMZ says is legit. Junglist says we all know he did it. Well, I don't know what happened here, but I'm not aware that he has publicly commented on this. Maybe you guys know. I'm not familiar with any public comment from him on this. So again, just in summary, some of what we know. This Tesla was, there was a Tesla that was abandoned in the Hollywood Hills. Multiple reports say abandoned near a house that David is connected with or rented. And after being up there for a while, one outlet I mentioned said it had been there more than a month. It was towed. It was taken to a tow yard in Hollywood. Then on September 8th, the tow yard smelled something bad, and the car was checked, and the body of a missing girl was found inside. And that missing girl is Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And she would have been a day over 15 the day the body was found. So she very well might have died when she was 14, and she had been missing since April of 2024 when she was 13. And as I mentioned, TMZ has a video, which they say is her and David doing a live stream in January of 2024, which would have been when she was 13 and he was 18. And reportedly, a house connected with David near where the car was in the Hollywood Hills was searched on Wednesday. And many of his tour dates have now been removed, and he'd already been touring for the last month or so. Now, complex research, I can't confirm this. I've seen these kind of reports. Complex research claims she can be seen wearing the same Gap jacket from the missing poster in one of the clips of them together on stream. I'm not sure about that. That might be true. There's been a lot of people getting into the details of this online. For example, you can go to the David Reddit, and I'm sure lots of people are talking about very specific things about this if you want more details. So I am not familiar with every single thing being said online about this, but I know a lot of people have been following it and looking at old like photos and videos and song lyrics and that kind of thing. One of our viewers said multiple live streams. So yeah, there very well might be a bunch of other stuff tying them together that I don't know about. No official, I don't believe there's been an official cause of death released. Yeah, according to AP from yesterday, the cause of death has not been released. Red Girl said Reddit in Discord. This other question is, so if she was hanging out with him and something happened to her, and then she ends up in a car registered to him, supposedly near a house that he had rented, so did no one know what happened to her? Did something happen to her and neither David nor anyone connected to David knew? And if that's the case, how did she end up in this car? It's a very, very confusing case. A whole other thing, which I see people talking about online, is, was she dating him while underage? I have no idea. I don't know. There are some people online who believe that to be the case and they're upset about it. I can see why. Again, I don't have that information. But that's a whole other aspect of this. So, was it reported stolen? I don't know. What I'm going to do is, let me show you this. This is some things in this article I didn't show you. So, a decomposed body found inside an impounded Tesla in Los Angeles has been identified as that of a teenage girl who went missing last year. Again, several news outlets said the vehicle was registered to David. He has not been implicated by authorities in her death at this point. Now, it says 15 when she was found in the vehicle. And she was found dead inside the vehicle. No cause confirmed her death. The body was discovered September 8th, which would be a day after her 15th birthday, at a tow lot in Hollywood after someone noticed a stench coming from the Tesla, police said, according to news outlets. In a statement, the medical examiner's office said her body was found severely decomposed. She appears to have been deceased inside the vehicle for an extended period of time before being found, officials said. So that would mean to me that she wasn't 15 when she died, because she would have been 15 the day before, turned 15 the day before the body was found. Okay? Again, an unnamed representative for David told NBC LA this singer had been cooperating with authorities since the body was found. It's not clear why the car had been impounded, but I told you reporting says it had been sitting out there for days or weeks, maybe over a month. And I'm also going to just make sure there's nothing today. I'm kind of just been looking to what comes out each day. By the way, KTLA reported that he has canceled all dates for his the European and UK leg of his tour, world tour. KTLA says her cause of death has not yet been determined, and his connection to the case remains a focus of the investigation. Again, the car reportedly got impounded because it was abandoned for an extended period of time and was just sitting on the street, and so it got towed. Elprex says this just makes no sense. Why would the car be so near his house and just left there to be found? Yeah, I mean, a whole other question is, if he had if he knew about it or had something to do with it, why, like our viewer said, why is the body just sitting there in a car registered to him? It's so confusing and very disturbing. Betty Swain says, where were her parents? Now, she was reported missing. Again, she was reported missing back in April of 2024. I don't know if she had periodic contact with her parents. That I cannot speak to. There is, again, the previously posted missing person photo of her. Oh, also, I don't know the details here. One of our viewers, Paul Palma, said released on her birthday. If I remember right, I believe that in the past, David had released music on her birthday, and some people think that's also a connection to her. I can't confirm it because I'd have to go back and remember exactly the posts I read, and I can't verify that. So I'm not saying that that's definitely true. I have seen that claimed online. Ravin's Corp says, I wonder if they talked to him after the missing persons report, if they knew he was dating her. I do not know if police ever had any contact with David, about this person previously. Victoria Estrita says, I cannot believe a child at that age was with a young man that age, and no one said anything. Again, I cannot verify they were dating or anything. There's suspicion they might have been. In the video that TMZ said is of them in a live stream on their website, in that video, she would be 13 and he would be 18. Oh, and then one of our viewers mentioned a teacher of hers, Texas Katarina. So I thought I saw something about that. By the way, let me just show you this real quick. This is from the LA County Medical Examiner right here. Celeste Rivas, date of death, that's where they found the body, September 8th, 2025, age 15. She would have just turned age 15 the day before, I believe. But the date of death is the day they found the body. It's still, the investigation is still open. Case status open. Place of death vehicle. So Fox 11 Fox 11 has a story today that says, oh, is it from TMZ? Where is this? Hold on a second here. Yes, yesterday, TMZ reported yesterday that a teacher, a former teacher of Celeste Rivas, claims that where is it here? Claims David knew her back in 2024. The teacher claims, according to TMZ, that she first disappeared after meeting David on social media. He claims Celeste allegedly ran away to Hollywood with David and that police tracked her down and returned her to her mom. I don't know if that's true. I'm going to post a link to this TMZ story where you can read about the teacher's claim. I'm guessing that's something the police could confirm and they would know. All right, give me one moment here. Just give me one moment. I need to check a couple things. Obviously, I am going to be keeping a close eye on this story. If, say, this coming week, or even later tonight or tomorrow, there are developments on this story, big developments, we can report on it. I'm just doing a quick check here to make sure I haven't missed any other big news coming out while we've been talking. We haven't even talked about the shooting yet in the shooting at ABC10 yesterday. We will. Our viewer creator alien sent me a post from Dexerto where they said Fortnite social accounts have unfollowed David. There were reports that he had lost some endorsement deals. Hang on a second here. Give me one moment here. Yeah, I don't have access. Patrick asked if I could check the missing persons report. The original missing persons report about her. I do not have access to the original missing persons report of her, to the report about them. You know, I don't have access to any of the original police documents related to this case. If I did, I would mention that, but I don't. So maybe more of it will be coming out. BioAndroid says they didn't even bring him in for questioning yet. I don't know if they've talked to him. Maybe they've talked to him and we don't know about it. Look, I mean, this is the kind of case, this body has been found, right? So they're investigating this very suspicious death. At any time, somebody could be arrested. Somebody could be brought in for questioning. So some kind of arrest warrant could be issued at any time. We don't know. We'll have to just see what happens. Obviously, we hope that, I hope, and I'm sure you hope, that they can figure out what exactly happened to her and bring anyone to justice that broke the law and that caused her death, you know, and didn't report it, or and somebody did, something happened. Somebody dismembered the body, put it in a bag, and left it in that Tesla. It didn't get there by itself, obviously. So, you know. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk some about the shooting yesterday. I want to talk about that. Hold on a second here. And there's all kinds of posting going on about this online. I would be careful, though. I mean, some people are like posting a video and they'll say, oh, that's her in this video. And it's not clear that it's her in a video. So if you go online, you're going to see a bunch of people posting stuff about this. I would take things with a grain of salt. There's a lot of people posting claims about this whole thing that are not very well sourced. Zico thinks the car must have been reported stolen. If not, they must know who has the key. Danny Rod says the fact he hasn't made a public statement by now means he is either planning an escape or he is letting manager take care of this. Fred Withrow is wondering if it might have been a crime of passion. You know, one of our viewers, Trash Can Man, says the manager lived in the rental house nearby. I've seen some stuff online claiming that that house is tied to his manager as well as him, but I cannot confirm that myself. Were there cameras near where the car is parked? Somebody said. Another good question. Is there surveillance of is somebody have a zoom camera on that street, for example, or a ring camera, which would show that Tesla when it first showed up before it was abandoned? Excellent question. Do not know. But a number of our viewers are saying that Tesla cars have cameras and they think that's going to help investigate. All right. Let's talk about the next story. Yeah, Johnny Ford sent me the clip that TMZ posted, the same clip of them, which TMZ says them two on a live stream together, David and Celeste, from early 2024. Again, you can go to TMZ and see that clip. But I am certainly going to be keeping an eye on that story. I want to talk about the Sacramento story. The Sacramento story, I feel like, has been, I think it's a bigger story than the attention it's gotten, to be honest. I feel like it has not gotten that much attention. Really? Give me a moment here. Okay. So, first, before we get to the Sacramento story, to ABC10 shooting, I do want to say a couple thank yous here. Thanks so much to Kristen Bird. Oh, I got delayed in thanking Kristen. Thank you so much, Kristen Bird. That's very kind of you. Kristen Bird, thank you for your support of the channel and for your note. Hope she's still watching because I got delayed in thanking her. Thanks also to TK and to Trippy. Thank you, Trippy. Star Bubo 26. Panophobic Gaming. Panophobic Gaming thinks proving he knew if he gave the car to other people is one thing. The standard for probable cause in arresting charging is much lower. It's more likely that it was him. So I'm not a legal expert. Panophobic Gaming thinks they have enough evidence to arrest him. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe they think they could, but they want to wait for whatever reason. Thanks, Panophobic Gaming. Thanks also to Complex Research and TK and Martin Gingrich. And says Sacramento is just like that. Well, we're going to talk about this. There's no official motive for the Sacramento shooting. But give me a moment here. One second here. I just want to mention this real quick. One of our viewers mentioned, Trippy, that BBC is reporting that Keir Starmer is set to announce the UK recognition of a Palestinian state on Sunday. That's not a surprise. That they said back, the Prime Minister said back in July, he suggested that might happen. That's been expected, I believe. But I guess it's supposed to happen tomorrow. So I just wanted to pass that along. Okay, let's talk about this shooting. So what happened is ABC10 is the Sacramento ABC affiliate, ABC10, okay? And yesterday, someone shot 3 bullets, I believe, into the building. And I believe it was into a window of ABC10. And then you think, wait, ABC recently were the ones, ABC broadcast Jimmy Kimmel, and they also were the ones who recently said that they were pulling Jimmy Kimmel off the air indefinitely for his comments about the Charlie Kirk shooting. So you wonder, is somebody shooting at the ABC affiliate in Sacramento because they're mad about the Jimmy Kimmel thing in one way or the other? You can see right here. Just after 1:30 yesterday, police said officers responded to reports of shots fired in the 400 block of Broadway. This is at ABC10. Responding officers observed at least 3 gunshots into a window of the building. The building was occupied, and fortunately nobody was injured. Now, they arrested somebody for this. Today, they said, thanks to the prompt and diligent work of our responding officers and investigators, the suspect vehicle was identified, leading officers to a residence in the 5400 block of Carlson Drive. The suspect, 64-year-old Anibal Hernandez Santana. I think Hernandez Santana might be hyphenated or just 2 words. When I've seen it other places, it's not all one word. But anyways, Anibal Hernandez Santana of Sacramento was arrested on charges of assault with a deadly weapon, shooting into an occupied building, and negligent discharge of a firearm. The motive remains under investigation. So, first of all, we don't have an official motive for this. That should be pointed out. But I do want to point out some reporting I saw about this. Which is, hold on. Variety, which I find pretty reliable. I mean, they don't post a lot of garbage. Variety reported that they found an X account, which they say appears to be the X account of the suspect. And they say, I actually found that X account. So I know what X account they're talking about. I'm not going to say it on the air though, or put a link to it because I don't want to get into that. You can go to Variety and check it out. But the X account that they think at Variety appears to be the suspect's contains a steady stream of anti-Trump commentary. Now, I cannot guarantee that they found the right thing. They do have a bunch of information on their site that they say about what they believe they have learned about this person. I'll post a link. You can read the Variety story. I have not seen other outlets report of this information. So I do think there's a fair chance that they are correct that this is the X account of the suspect, but it's not 100% certain. But again, I've seen the X account, and as they say, an X account matching the profile of this person, a LinkedIn profile, which they say appears to belong to the person, contains a steady stream of anti-Trump commentary. So if that's true, I cannot verify it's true. If it's true that the person who shot at ABC10 was very anti-Trump, is the idea that they were upset that ABC pulled Jimmy Kimmel and decided to shoot at the ABC building in the window, the ABC local affiliate in Sacramento? Is that what happened? I mean, it's weird. This story is not covered that much, which I'm surprised, because somebody did shoot 3 bullets into the window of ABC10 in Sacramento while people were inside the building. I'm going to post the link to the Variety story so you can read about it. Now, they don't have a motive yet. Again, they don't have a motive. So I'm waiting to see if they come out with something else, the Sacramento police. But it seems at least possible. possible that somebody did this over anger about the Kimmel situation. But it seems that sorry, oops, you're going to hear two of me for a second. That somebody... Who owns that affiliate? That I don't know. The person who did this lived in Sacramento, according to the authorities. So, and this is a Sacramento station. Yes, this station is owned by, this one is owned by Tegna. It is not owned by Sinclair. It is not owned by Nexstar. It's owned by Tegna, according to Wikipedia. You know, somebody could have been killed. Hold on a second here. Hang on. Our viewer Saranya thinks it had more to do with Ashley Zavalas. They blamed that outlet for being too pro-Trump. Now, I don't know anything about this. So, there isn't, well, there's an Ashley Zavala who works at KCRA, which is not ABC10. But, you know, something that Saranya brought up is somebody could have had a problem with, maybe they were targeting the building for some reason besides Jimmy Kimmel specifically. It just seems the timing is very close to when Jimmy Kimmel gets taken off the air by ABC, and then this happened yesterday. That, when did Jimmy Kimmel get taken off? Was it Thursday night, if I have that right? Was it Thursday night or Wednesday night? It was September 17th, which is Wednesday. And then this shooting happened on Friday. Jen's Crunchy Vax thinks it's about Kimmel. By the way, thank you to Saranya, by the way. Yes, police arrested 64-year-old, as we said before, Anibal Hernandez Santana, 64 years old, by the way. So not some teenager running around, 64 years old. Arrested on charges of assault with a deadly weapon, shooting into an occupied building, and negligent discharge of a firearm. Yeah, somebody could have been killed. The person shot, and they shot into a window, right? They shot into a window. So, I mean, this is the kind of story where, like, again, it's not getting that much coverage. If a bullet had hit somebody, it would be getting crazy coverage. But it seems just luck that a bullet didn't hit somebody. California Boy says, luckily nobody was hurt. That's a good thing. And then you wonder, if somebody does this, you hope that other people aren't going to do similar stuff. I don't know. Flatlander says maybe someone should ask the perpetrator. I don't know what the person who's in custody has said to authorities. Sean C. says it's only being covered locally here in Sacramento. I mean, I have gone to some big news outlets and just not seen anything about it. I mean, I do see some from national news outlets. Some national news outlets have it. Then one of our viewers also mentioned the person arrested in Arizona. Near the stadium. Taz578 said the day after there was a protest at the station. Is that true? I can't confirm that. Sacramento's in California. There was a man arrested outside of the State Farm Stadium. Ahead of, ooh, I just saw something. Hey, really quick, I'm going to show you an update. This kind of thing happens regularly, but I do want to show you. I just saw this. This is from moments ago, northern Gaza. Okay, so watch on your screen here. This is looking into northern Gaza from Israel. This is moments ago. I just saw it here, and I'll rewind and play it for you. Let's see if I can get it on the screen. Did I rewind enough? I have to find where it was. Let it play for a second. I just saw something there. This is where it's difficult because I have to figure out how far back I have to go. Let me go back a little ways. Maybe I won't be able to find it. It was definitely about like a minute ago. But see, it happens. There was like a big explosion. Now I've gone back too much. Let's go live. Hold on. There it is right there. Watch this. Watch this. Right there. Ooh, hold on. What was that? Look at that. Watch this. Whoa. Two hits, it looked like. This does not mean there's something really new going on. I mean, I do keep an eye on the cameras, and once in a while you see this kind of stuff happening. So I just noticed it. So I wanted to show you guys that because I just noticed it out of the corner of my eye. Again, it's a pretty regular occurrence, but I did want to show you. Again, this was about a minute or two ago. Can I find it one more time for you? We'll see. Now it's lost. I can't find it again. Sorry. Well, we saw it. We saw it. Anyways, you got to see it. That's in northern Gaza. That camera is in Sderot, Israel, looking into northern Gaza. So I wanted to show you the update about the person who was arrested in Arizona. This is another, well, hold on. Okay, according to CBS News, there was a man who was arrested. So this Charlie Kirk Memorial is going to happen at State Farm Stadium tomorrow. The Charlie Kirk Memorial, which we will be covering. We will have footage of it for you via Reuters and AFP. At State Farm Stadium, I believe it's 2 p.m. Eastern time is when it officially starts. There's going to be a lot of security there. I heard something like Super Bowl security there for this. Hold on. Just want to show you this here. State Farm Stadium. That is in Arizona. Is it technically in Phoenix? It's in Glendale. It's in Glendale. Okay. Brandy says they're putting up fences. I don't have a live shot of the stadium right now. But there might have been a live shot before. Well, hold on. I have a live shot from Turning Point headquarters. I can show you. Let me put that on the screen for you. This is Turning Point headquarters. Turning Point, USA, where there's currently people gathering for a Charlie Kirk memorial. So let me, while I'm talking about this, I'll put that on the screen for you. It's going to be on the screen right there. That is live, and that is in Phoenix. That's Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix is not far from Glendale. About 10 miles or so. So there might be people there who've come into town for the memorial tomorrow. Anyways, CBS News reports that an armed man was arrested yesterday in the afternoon outside of State Farm Stadium where the memorial is going to be. The Secret Service said, according to CBS News, that a man was observed exhibiting suspicious behavior at State Farm Stadium. Secret Service approached the man. He said he was a member of law enforcement and was armed. Arizona Department of Public Safety said the man was not actually a member of law enforcement. Joshua Runkles, 42 years old, was booked into jail for impersonating a law enforcement officer and carrying a weapon into a prohibited place. He has now been released on bond. And CBS News reports that this guy, Joshua Runkles, was working as private security for an influencer who's attending the memorial service. When he was first confronted by law enforcement, he said he was working with Secret Service. And he also presented credentials that identified him as a deputy sheriff from out of town. Megatron says, why would they release him before tomorrow's event? Well, I mean, I'm guessing they'll keep an eye out for him. I don't know what their interaction with him was. You know, I don't know legally if they can hold him for that, for how long. Again, CBS News says he is he was hired security, private security for an influencer who's attending the event. Gina Tucker says they better look out for him during the memorial. He was inside the stadium, by the way, on Friday. He was inside the stadium. Now, I don't know how hard it was to get in the stadium at that point on Friday. You'd think it'd be kind of hard, though. But he was inside the stadium when he was approached. Oh, according to the New York Times, the Secret Service said the man had both knives and guns on him when he was arrested. Oh, and law enforcement encountered him outside the stadium. And then when the guy went into the stadium, Secret Service went up to him. At the time, officials were working to establish a hardened perimeter. The Times says now the perimeter of the stadium is fenced off. Oh, also, according to the New York Times, the Department of Homeland Security has designated it as a top-level security event similar to the Super Bowl. Just so you know. Just trying to find more on this. Hang on a moment. You are looking at a live shot from Phoenix, Arizona. Oops. Lisa thinks they have had a ton of threats already. Lisa J says, I bet they've had a ton of threats already. That I don't know. Oh, I will say that there's a bunch of security precautions in place. Let me show you that. I have a link to that. Let me show you this. So here is the State Farm Stadium website for the memorial right there. And what you can see is Building a Legacy, Remembering Charlie Kirk. We will be covering this live tomorrow. Event starts at 11 a.m. Glendale time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Doors open 3 hours before. Parking lots open 4 hours before. First come, first serve. The event is first come, first serve. How about that? So they didn't give out a certain limited number of tickets. It's first come, first serve. Allie B. from Tennessee thinks the artists are amazing they have coming. Entry to the stadium is first come, first serve. My Crystal Clear Life says many from Cabinet will be there. Bag policy. No bags allowed. There are no bags allowed. Entry will be denied to guests carrying bags. Now, one of our viewers, Dub Standard, says it's still a ticketed event. You do have to, it says registration encouraged. It says encouraged. It doesn't say required. Yeah, so again, I don't know exactly. All I can tell you is it says the event is first come, first serve right on the registration thing. So it says encouraged on the stadium website. It says encouraged. What can I tell you? Security screening. Here's what can be expected upon arrival. Gates open at 8 a.m. Magnetometers will be used to screen all attendees. Prior to screening, everyone will be asked to keep all items in their hands and pockets and proceed through the magnetometer. Physical pat-downs will be done only for those with medical... Physical pat-downs will be only be done for those with medical exemptions to, I guess, going through the magnetometer. Those electing not to consent to the metal detector or physical pat-down will be denied entry to the stadium. Prohibited items. These items are prohibited at the Charlie Kirk Memorial. I don't know if I'm going to read all of them. There's no bags, no alcohol, no ammunition, no bags of any size, for example. No beverages other than one factory-sealed, non-frozen, 16.9 fluid ounce plain bottle of water. You cannot even bring sport drinks or flavored water. No beverage containers. No cameras with professional photo lenses larger than 80 inches. No coolers, no explosives, no firearms, no drones. No food except for children under the age of 2. No GoPro cameras, no illegal drugs. No laser pointers, no marijuana. I'm just going over this. Noisemakers. Poles or sticks, including selfie sticks. No posters or signs allowed at the memorial. No seat cushions, except those are which one piece, and they describe what they are like. And also no video cameras and any item deemed inappropriate by or hazardous by security, they will not let you bring in. And no weapons, including explosives, firearms, and knives. Ronan says, sounds pretty standard. Anyways, no bags are allowed. I'm assuming they'll have a concession stand there. Paula Thompson. She said no water? Well, I'm assuming they'll have a concession stand. You get to bring a bottle of water, it looked like. Oh, I did want to mention something. President Trump posted about something. Oh, I thought he posted... President Trump posted a couple things in the last hour that I want to mention. Thanks, by the way, to Moonshadow X for subscribing on Twitch. 33 Prince of World AB Plus for subscribing. Thank you. Oh, hold on. Look at the memorial. I just want to show you this real quick. This is in Phoenix, so it's about 10 miles from Glendale. That is a memorial at Turning Point USA office. Turning Point headquarters. Turning Point was Charlie Kirk's organization that he co-founded. So that is a memorial, a live shot of a memorial at Turning Point headquarters in Phoenix. Thanks, Christine, who says, I live close to the stadium. It's busy already and will be crazy tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people supposed to go. Fox News said the memorial is expected to draw 100,000 people. Now that venue does not fit 100,000 people. The venue fits about 63,000 people. So if 100,000 people show up, 36,000 are not getting in. Yes, we will be covering it live tomorrow. We will be covering it live tomorrow. Now, some of our viewers are saying they have an overflow set up for this. That makes sense. You mean like a place people can watch it? I don't know. I haven't seen that myself. Oh, I just saw news here. KTAR said there's an overflow across the street with seating for up to 19,000 people that's being set up. So there is an overflow seating area, according to KTAR. Yes, Potato Head says it's at Desert Diamond Casino. The Desert Diamond Arena. I'm seeing Desert Diamond Arena. There will be concessions, the stadium says. Yeah, so we'll be covering that tomorrow. We'll come on before the memorial starts at 2, and we'll be coming on the air before that. Oh, I just wanted to update you while we were on the air. President Trump posted some things, so I just wanted to show you this. President Trump said, if Afghanistan doesn't give, about an hour ago, he said, if Afghanistan doesn't give Bagram Air Base back to those who built it, the United States of America, bad things are going to happen. Again, if Afghanistan doesn't give Bagram Air Base back to those who built it, the United States of America, bad things are going to happen. He also said just toured Washington, D.C., and it is a totally different place than it was last year. No tents, manicured grass in parks, clean streets, no gangs or vicious criminals. The place is beautiful and safe, and it is going to remain that way. What a difference good government makes. Go to D.C. and enjoy history being made, he said. He also said justice must be served now. I'm not sure exactly what that's referring to. And he said, Pam, I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially same old story as last time, all talk, no action, nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. Then we almost put in a Democrat-supported U.S. attorney in Virginia with a really bad Republican past. He's talking about, I think this is Eric Siebert, U.S. attorney in Virginia, who reports say Eric Siebert was forced out because he would not file charges against Letitia James and James Comey. And President Trump claimed that yesterday that he forced him out because 2 Democrats supported him. But I believe President Trump nominated him. Anyways, he said, we almost put in a Democrat-supported U.S. attorney in Virginia with a really bad Republican past, a woke rhino who was never going to do his job. That's why two of the worst Dem senators pushed him so hard. He even lied to the media and said he quit and that we had no case. No, I fired him, and there is a great case, and many lawyers and legal pundits say so. Lindsay Halligan is a really good lawyer and likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. So it seems like he's saying that he wants this person who replaced the U.S. attorney in Virginia to charge Comey, Adam Schiff, and Letitia James. Here, the story is this. This is the story, in case you missed it yesterday. Here's the story from yesterday. U.S. attorney under pressure to charge Letitia James in mortgage fraud case has resigned. AP, a federal prosecutor in Virginia whose months-long mortgage fraud investigation into New York Attorney General Letitia James has not resulted in criminal charges, resigned Friday under pressure from the Trump administration. Eric Siebert confirmed his departure in an email to colleagues, in which he praised them as the finest and most exceptional of Justice Department employees, but made no mention of the political turmoil. The replacement of Siebert as U.S. Attorney for the prestigious Eastern District of Virginia office comes amid a push by Trump administration officials to indict James, a perceived adversary of the president who has successfully sued him for fraud. President Trump told reporters in the Oval Office yesterday he wanted Siebert out. And multiple people familiar with the matter later told AP that Siebert had informed colleagues of his plan to resign from the administration. AP says the administration's effort to oust him from the job represents a further erosion of norms meant to insulate the Justice Department from White House influence on prosecutorial decisions. The move is likely to deepen concerns that the department, already investigating other public figures Trump regards as foes, is being weaponized by a White House seeking to have its prosecutorial powers used for purposes of retribution. Trump administration officials have been aggressively pursuing allegations against James rising from alleged paperwork discrepancies on her Brooklyn townhouse and a Virginia home, says AP. The Justice Department has spent months conducting the investigation but is yet to bring charges. And there's been no indication that prosecutors have managed to uncover any degree of incriminating evidence that could support bringing an indictment. Asked about the issue yesterday, Trump said, without citing any evidence, "It looks to me like she's really guilty of something, but I really don't know." ABC News was the first to report that Trump administration officials were pressuring prosecutors to bring charges and that the Republican administration was preparing to oust Siebert. And the person who replaced her, Trump mentioned today in that post, you can see right here, replaced him. Conservative lawyer is new top federal prosecutor for office probing Letitia James, who is in the picture, Letitia James. A conservative lawyer who has said she was falsely accused of being at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th has been tapped to serve as the top federal prosecutor for the Virginia office that was thrown into turmoil when its U.S. attorney was pushed out yesterday. Oh, I think it's a different person than Trump. Trump said in his post, he talked about Lindsay Halligan. This story says, where is it? Mary Maggie Cleary said in an email to staff on Saturday she had been named the acting U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia. She replaces Eric Siebert, who resigned amid a push by Trump administration officials to bring criminal charges against New York Attorney General Letitia James in a mortgage fraud investigation. While Siebert said in an email to colleagues last night that he submitted his resignation. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. I'm going to show you something. Hold on. I just saw another explosion in Gaza. Again, this is not, it's a fairly regular thing, but I want to quickly show you here. Here is moments ago from our Gaza cam. This is moments ago, just a few seconds ago. This is northern Gaza from Israel. Let me show you. I saw another, looks like maybe an airstrike in northern Gaza. Watch, you'll see it. You see a flash there? Now watch this. Boom. It's regular, and when I say it's a regular occurrence, I mean it happens frequently. Regularly, when I am keeping an eye on the cameras at night, once in a while I see these kind of things. And I'm just mentioning that so you don't think this is the sign of some kind of huge new operation or strategy. Because this is the kind of thing you do see once in a while when you're watching the cameras. I just want to let people know that. Anyway, so it certainly sounds like from President Trump's post that he really wants his prosecutors in the Justice Department to charge Comey, Adam Schiff, and Letitia. He says, we can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. Justice must be served now. So take that as you will. By the way, thanks to DJ Michael May. I really appreciate that. DJ Michael May, thank you. Also, our member David Johnson. Granite Hard. Granite says Sinclair is trying to merge with Tegna now. This is from a previous story. Yes, it looks like you're correct. Sinclair wants to merge with Tegna. I'm seeing in several stories. Thank you for mentioning that. So that's something else to keep an eye on this week, is in the coming days, will we see Trump's Justice Department file charges against Comey, Schiff, and Letitia James, as Trump is saying he wants to happen now. That was just posted, by the way, half an hour ago. Reuters reports that, you can see it says, U.S. federal prosecutor tapped to lead office probing Letitia James. Eric Siebert, who was acting as U.S. Attorney of Eastern District of Virginia, he resigned on Friday after President Trump said he wanted him out. Trump administration officials, according to Reuters, Trump administration officials previously told Siebert that the president was frustrated his office had not yet brought criminal mortgage fraud charges against Letitia James, according to two sources familiar with the matter. The office is also involved in a second probe targeting former FBI Director James Comey, who, like the New York Attorney General, was one of Trump's political rivals. In the probes, sources told Reuters that in those 2 probes, Siebert had previously told officials he did not believe the evidence was strong enough to bring charges. So that's another thing to keep an eye on in the coming days. By the way, Garrett Hack, who's with NBC News, he saw that post from Trump about justice must be served now. And Garrett Hack says that the president appears to be calling out Pam Bondi for not moving fast enough. That's what Garrett thinks. Because you can see here in the post it says, Pam says I have... Oh, so I thought maybe he was saying Pam says this. He's saying it to Pam Bondi. Pam, like, Dear Pam, I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying essentially same old stories last time. So he's addressing this to Pam Bondi, saying justice must be served now. Okay, I see. I thought maybe he was saying Pam was saying that she had reviewed statements. Thomas Darwin says, poor Pam. Thanks for becoming a member, DJ Michael May. Thomas Darwin also says that he thinks that Trump will talk about this tomorrow at the memorial. Okay. So that's going on. Okay, by the way, I just saw some perspective on this. According to Josh Gerstein with Politico, Trump in this post mentioned here Lindsay Halligan. And I was like, I don't know who that is. And Josh Gerstein says Lindsay Halligan is a special assistant to the president. So it sounds like maybe he wants her to be involved in this. I'm not sure. And just to point out again, he also said, justice must be served now. Our viewer K. Russ thinks Bondi is a disappointment. She must be compromised, or she'd be getting all these cases into court. Obvious cases? Kay says. Ed B says, is he threatening Pam? Mason K thinks it's crazy to treat this as normal. Oh, I also want to mention, we're not going to spend that much time on it, but just in case you missed it, the third boat in the last several weeks, the U.S. has President Trump announced for the third time in the last several weeks that the U.S. military blew up a boat that he says was carrying drugs intended for the U.S. Now, he didn't say here, the last two he said were coming from Venezuela. Strictly speaking, his post here says, the Secretary of War, on my orders, conducted a lethal kinetic strike on a vessel affiliated with a designated terrorist organization. That sounds like maybe one of the cartels in Venezuela that the Trump administration has declared a designated terrorist organization? Anyways, he claims that the boat was conducting narco trafficking and trafficking illicit narcotics along a known narco trafficking passage en route to poison Americans, and claims that the strike killed 3 male narco terrorists on board the vessel, which was in international waters. So this is the third incident like this where President Trump has released footage of the military just blowing up a boat with people on it that that Trump says was carrying drugs that would end up in the U.S. So I'll show you the video just so you can see it, because President Trump posted it. It is the video of the boat getting blown up, just so you know. Hang on. It looks like 2 missiles hit the boat. It really looks like 2 missiles hit this boat. I'll see if I can freeze frame it there. Hold on, I have to pause it. There's one. See, look. See on the left there? I couldn't get them both. But I believe if I could get the right framing, you'd see them both. I can't do it. Anyways. You can go to President Trump's social media and see it. Oh, Scuba Steve thinks it's Hellfire rockets, so maybe it's rockets / missiles, whatever it is. I don't really want to get. We've talked about that story at length, so I don't want to get all into it right now during this stream, but. I will mention that. Oh, and I have something more about the guy arrested at the Charlie Kirk site. You can see here, right here, Trump discloses a U.S. targeted a 3rd alleged drug boat from Venezuela. Now, did he say it was from Venezuela? He said, so the Washington Post says this boat was apparently from Venezuela too. He said, oh no, this is from a few days ago. That's a different one. This is from 4 days ago. 4 days ago, President Trump had said there were actually 3 boats that had been destroyed, but he hadn't posted about the 3rd one. So maybe there's 4 now, but the one he posted about, I'm not clear if the one he posted about is the 3rd one from before or a new one. Anyways, I just don't know. You can see here's Reuters says Trump says U.S. struck alleged drug vessel in latest operation. Trump did not provide evidence that the boat was doing what he said it was doing. Trump did not say where the vessel departed from or where specifically the strike took place. In addition to F-35s, there are at least 7 U.S. warships in the region, as well as 1 nuclear-powered submarine. Earlier this week, the U.S. military carried out a strike in the southern Caribbean that targeted an alleged Venezuelan drug vessel heading to the U.S. The Trump administration has provided scant information about the first two strikes, despite demands from U.S. lawmakers that the government justify the action. The Venezuelan government claims none of the people in the first strike belong to Tren de Aragua. Venezuelan President Maduro has repeatedly alleged the U.S. is hoping to drive him from power. The decision to blow up a suspected drug vessel instead of seizing it and apprehending the crew is highly unusual, says Reuters. Under the U.S. Constitution, the power to declare war belongs to Congress, but the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and presidents of both parties have conducted military strikes overseas without congressional approval. Experts and human rights advocates have questioned the legality of these strikes on these alleged drug boats. Earlier this week, Human Rights Watch said the strikes against the alleged drug boats were unlawful extrajudicial killings. Human Rights Watch said U.S. officials cannot summarily kill people they accuse of smuggling drugs. Anyways, we may have, more coverage of Venezuela, this whole thing in the future as things develop. Bleezer says they can because they just did. Set to Chill says we have no proof what he is doing. Devil thinks nobody's going to take their speedboat out now. Random Roulette says when you blow up the evidence, it gives you plausible deniability. All right, so that's something going on that I wanted to mention. And also, just to follow up, I saw this article about the person arrested at the site of the planned memorial service for Charlie Kirk. By the way, shout out to our moderators we have moderating right now. Beth Mythical, thank you for moderating, Beth. Also, BZ, Roberts May Queen on YouTube. I really appreciated all of our YouTube moderators. Also, our moderators, hold on a second here. Trump might actually appear in a second. Hang on, give me a moment here. I got to do this. Just in case he appears before we get off the air. The president is supposed to leave soon. On Marine One. Is he going to Arizona tonight? Is that what's happening? Maybe so. But we might have, maybe he'll take a couple of questions. I don't know. I don't know exactly when he's going to walk out, but I'm keeping an eye on it. I have the video. I have a live shot. I think I can show you. Yes, this is the White House. Let me go to the White House real quick. I'll put it on the screen for you. Live shot from the White House. There it is. So if we see him, maybe it's standard that there's a fire engine there. I don't know, but that is the White House live, according to AFP. That's what they say. They say it's at the White House. Oh no, he's taking a helicopter tonight to Mount Vernon to attend the American Cornerstone Institute Founders Dinner. So that's why he's leaving the White House to take a helicopter. Bob says they always have a fire engine there. Just to mention this, sorry, I forgot to thank the rest of our moderators. Thank you to 13 Alamo, Bash and Girl for moderating, Big Ball of Yarn, LB Prairie Dawn, I Got That Fire, Matthew Kohai 3, and Sarah. Also, our Facebook moderators like Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley. Thanks, Amy Cluck, for the Facebook stars, by the way. Paul Anderson's moderating. Shannon Davis Hughes, thank you. Linda Belk, Larry, Misha for moderating on X. And I want to shout out our Twitch subscribers. Well, I have a 2 seconds here. Like Wall Street and Shaggy, thank you for subscribing. Quake Clouds, Matthew Kohai 3 and Sarah. Wall Street, I Got That Fire, Cece. Allistic, Devil Doc, Douthis. All of our other Twitch subscribers, thank you. If you missed it, we have been covering a lot of different stories on this news roundup. You can go back and watch our coverage of the various stories. David, the shooting at ABC10, Tom Homan. I had just found a new article from the Washington Post about the person arrested yesterday at the stadium where the Charlie Kirk Memorial is happening. Joshua Runkles, 42, was booked on a felony charge of impersonating a law enforcement officer and a misdemeanor charge of carrying a weapon into a prohibited place. Runkles approached a law enforcement official working security at the stadium and said he was part of a security detail working with Turning Point USA, according to the court papers. He acknowledged he was armed and showed law enforcement credentials to the official, said the court papers. The official then told Runkles he was not allowed to go inside the stadium or be armed on the property and told him to contact Turning Point USA. Runkles was cooperative, respectful, and signaled that he understood. Less than 2 hours later, Runkles encountered Secret Service staff inside the stadium, who detained him after learning he was armed. Runkles was found to have a loaded pistol, a revolver, and several knives, said the court filings. Prosecutors asked for a $5,000 bond, but the court said a $500 secured appearance bond plus pretrial services supervision. Is he under some sort of supervision maybe now? An investigation is ongoing to determine his intent and purpose at the stadium. Court records show that Runkles, whose home address is in North Carolina, was ordered to stay away from the scene of the alleged crime, in apparent reference to the stadium. He was also found indigent and must be appointed an attorney, because I guess he can't afford one. It was not immediately clear if he had an attorney today. The Secret Service said that when the Secret Service approached this guy in the stadium, he claimed to be a law enforcement member and said he was armed, but the individual is not a member of authorized law enforcement working the event. The Washington Post says the apparent unauthorized entry raised security concerns around the memorial scheduled for tomorrow. The venue is at capacity and is expected to feature President Trump, Vice President Vance, and many other administration officials and top aides. The Department of Homeland Security has made Charlie Kirk's memorial service a special event assessment rating level 1 event, a designation that allows the federal government to assign it sweeping security resources akin to that of a Super Bowl. Security is expected as we see. Oh, is President Trump going? Did we see him? Did we miss him? I didn't see him. We're looking at the live shot from the White House here as President Trump prepares to leave for a dinner. The Post says that officials are expected to begin setting up a perimeter around the stadium today. Ladina, our viewer, thinks that stadium security clearly failed because the guy managed to go inside the stadium with all those weapons. Ashley Owen says, sounds like he was scoping the place in order to cause mayhem tomorrow. Is there volume on this shot? Oh, I don't even know. I'd have the volume. I have the sound off. This is President Trump is about to leave for a dinner. So we're waiting. I don't know that he's going to take questions. Thank you, Robert Smith, for your comment. That guy's wearing a tux. And to repeat, we will be covering live the Charlie Kirk Memorial tomorrow. So feel free to join us for that. Oh, it looks like they put on the they messed with the filter, so it didn't get brighter outside, but now we can see better because the camera made an adjustment. We'll give it a couple more minutes here. I think after President Trump leaves, I think we're going to wrap up the stream. We've been covering a bunch of stories today. If you missed it, you can rewind and check out the stream. Once in a while, we do one of these when there's a bunch of stories I want to talk about, but none of them seem like its own stream. So we've just covered a bunch of things today and been taking your comments. But soon, I'm going to wrap this up. But I'd like to see if he takes any questions. But we'll see how long it is. We'll give it a couple minutes. So, but again, I hope you can join us tomorrow for the coverage of the memorial. Yes, we discussed Tom Homan already. I don't want to do the whole segment again. Very briefly, MSNBC reports that the FBI had been investigating Homan last year, and actually on September 20th of last year, MSNBC reports that hidden cameras recorded Homan accepting $50,000 from undercover FBI agents in exchange for, they say, telling that he had promised them that he would in a second Trump administration, get them help get them government contracts. And MSNBC said that he was recorded doing this, and MSNBC said that the Trump administration shut the investigation down. And there was a statement in the article from Kash Patel, director of the FBI, and Todd Blanche, deputy attorney general. And that statement acknowledged that there was an investigation that had started under the Biden administration, that was shut down under the Trump administration. They said that no evidence had been found of illegal activity. Oh, I'm sorry. They said in their statement that there was no credible evidence of any criminal wrongdoing. Also, the White House Deputy Press Secretary, Abigail Jackson, called the probe a blatantly political investigation, which she said found no evidence of illegal activity. So the Trump administration is acknowledging that there was an investigation. Anyways, I posted the link on my X account. I don't know if the story is true. I don't know if there is a video of Tom Homan accepting $50,000. We'll have to see what comes out about that. I just posted the link in the chat if you want to read it. All right, what I'm going to start doing while we have our eyes on the White House, I am going to start starting to say my thank yous for the broadcast. Oh, by the way, thanks to Jean-Paul Lachance for the gift memberships. It's very kind of you, Jean-Paul Lachance. So, look, if there's big news later tonight, we'll come on the air. We're going to come on the air and cover the memorial tomorrow. So if you'd like, subscribe, follow the channel, Agenda Free TV. We cover all kinds of live breaking news coverage here without an agenda, Agenda Free TV. I would suggest turning our notifications on because I never know when big new news is going to happen. The notifications are free. You sign up once, you get sent a notification whenever we go live so you don't miss a stream. The mods will post the link to the notifications in the chat. You can also find that link in the YouTube and Facebook description of this broadcast. So sign up for those. I will post updates on my X account, which is @Lookner on X. Looks like this. So if there's some updates tonight that don't warrant a stream, I'll post them there. And really do appreciate you joining today. Also, thanks for letting me read your comments and questions on the air and sending me your news updates. Thanks to Mama 457 Rose. I really appreciate that, Mama 457 Rose. Also, shout out to our moderators again. You are so awesome. That is why we can have chat rooms as our moderators. People like Roberts Mayqueen, BZ, Beth Mythical on YouTube. Thank you so much for being there. BZ on Twitch. 13 Alamo, Bastion Girl, Big Ball of Yarn, Matthew Kohai 3, LB Prairie Dawn, and Sarah. Thank you so much. Oops. Facebook. People like Rob. Kay Lowry Body, Paul Anderson, Margaret Riley, Shannon Davis Hughes, thank you. Linda Belk Larry, Misha on X. Big thanks to all of our moderators. Thanks to everybody who donated too. That is so nice of you guys. I very much appreciate your support for the channel. Hopefully I got everybody. Let me do a double check here. But you are the ones who allow this channel to exist. Jax Haku, thanks for subscribing. And Douthis, thanks for subscribing on Twitch. And KC Comey, thanks for subscribing on Twitch. I think I thanked Moonshadow before, Moonshadow X. But I really appreciate it. Ken Lance, did I thank? I think I thanked Ken Lance. And Stephen Roberts and everybody else who I thanked earlier, thank you. Hey, another good way to find out when we're live is to follow us on X @AgendaFreeTV. I always post there before we go live @AgendaFreeTV on X. We have a chat where you can chat for free with other viewers on Discord. It's free. A bunch of our viewers like doing that. Check it out. It's the same link as the free notifications. Big thanks to our Discord mods too. Also, just a reminder, if you do watch us on YouTube, I would certainly suggest turning on the YouTube notifications, which can be a little tricky. But if you want to turn on the YouTube notifications real quick, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell, choose all notifications. Subscribe, click on the bell, choose all notifications. Shout out to our Facebook subscribers who support the channel, like Robert Real II, Sharon Klassen Goslin.
There it is.
Uh-oh, hearing some voices. We had the White House on because Trump is supposed to leave for a dinner. Is he coming out? Is Trump coming out? Oh, is the helicopters coming. Here's Marine One. It's Marine One to pick up Trump for the dinner. Look, bonus footage, bonus coverage. I'll keep doing my thank yous. You get to see Marine One live. Thanks for subscribing also on Facebook. Kayla Aribadi, Margaret Riley, Shannon Davis Hughes, Jennifer Ellers, all Chuck Mosca, all of our other subscribers on Facebook. There is Marine One. Thanks also again to our Twitch subscribers like Edu Makashun, Rocky Coast, Mr. Clam 73, Holistic, Wall Street, Shaggy, Douthis, KC Comey, Jax Haku, Jax Animals, Strong One, Sarah, Matthew Kohai 3, Big Ball of Yarn, Amelian, CC 143, Matthew Kohai 3, Devil Doc, Bruce Mac. Thanks for subscribing on Twitch. Oh, another helicopter's coming. 2 helicopters. Two helicopters. Second helicopter. I'm going to have to put my headphones. Even though it's the end of the stream, I got to put my headphones on. So it's not messing anything up. It's our bonus footage. Bonus coverage at the end of the stream. Maybe that's Marine One. That looks like Marine One. Fred Flintstone says, always at least 2, most times 3. That's what Fred says. Hey, thanks to our YouTube members, too, like Alabama Fan 122, Exceedy, Evelyn in Maine, Fred Flintstone, Cheryl Moran, Captain Jerry Donnelly, Naomi Nocturnal, Joe Hart, It's Me Kyle, UV Lightning, Aussie Joe, Thomas Darwin, Jeffrey Morales, Jimmy ZNJ, Jason Wood, Gen Xer, Creek Crew, Naomi Nocturnal, Leslie Ladyhawk, Terry Rose, Red Girl, thanks for being members, Babs, Megatron, Tallulah A. Bell, Sean Paul LeChance, Chris N, It's Me, Kyle, Callie Raven, Pat W, J.M. Oren Quake. Oh, thanks to Lynn Z. Hey, thanks so much, Lynn Z, for your support. Lynn Z. There's Trump. Here's Trump right now. Look.
And we want to act fast. You know, they were ruthless and vicious. I was impeached twice. I was indicted 5 times. It turned out to be a fake deal. And we have to act fast. One way or the other. One way or the other. They're guilty. They're not guilty. We have to act fast. If they're not guilty, that's fine. If they are guilty or if they should be charged, they should be charged. And we have to do it now.
Did you see the reporting on Tom Homan? It's saying, okay, on UNGA for the UN. Could you say which leaders you're going to meet with at the UN?
I'm going to meet with a lot of the leaders at the UN. But one of probably 20. Everybody wants to meet, but I'm one person. But we're going to meet with quite a few of the leaders.
Anyone specifically?
Well, I'm going to meet with some of the majors.
Did anybody from your administration pressure ABC to suspend Jimmy Kimmel?
No, not at all. I think Jimmy Kimmel's terrible. You know what suspended him? His talent. You know what else is really what? Take a look at this guy, his ratings. That's what got Jimmy Kimmel out. He was terrible. And didn't he lose? I saw a report where ABC lost millions of dollars with him. So that's what suspended Jimmy Kimmel.
Have you been briefed about Estonia and how you're going to respond to Russian?
No, I haven't been briefed on it yet.
Mr. President, will you meet with Democratic leaders to talk about how to avert a shutdown?
Well, I will, but they don't care about crime. They want to keep men and women's sports. They want all this stuff. They don't change. They haven't learned from the biggest beating they've ever taken, just about. I'd love to meet with them, but I don't think it's going to have any impact.
Mr. President,
But you will, sir? But you will, sir? You will meet with Democratic leaders?
I'd love to meet with them if they want to meet.
Cover you don't like the grounds for losing a broadcast license.
Well, I think when a network is dishonest, certainly if they are dishonest because they give you 97% bad publicity or whatever it is, some ridiculous number, yeah, I would say that would be grounds. Yeah.
So are you asking President to rule out U.S. boots on the ground to get Bagram back?
We won't talk about that, but we're talking now to Afghanistan, and we want it back, and we want it back soon, right away. And if they don't do it, you're going to find out what I'm going to do.
So you want President Carter to take the...
Will they sign a deal on TikTok? And
well, we're moving along. We have great American patriots that are buying it. Very, very substantial people that love our country, and they're very smart technologically, and they will not let anything bad happen to TikTok.
on the 7th seat, sir, will there be an American on that 7th seat on the TikTok board? There's 6 seats for Americans. What nationality will that 7th seat be?
Well, we're going to see. We're going to announce that over the next week, who the 7th will be.
Mr. President.
Are you tired of winning yet?
We get tired of winning, but not that tired. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your service. Thank you, sir.
All right, so we got a couple comments from President Trump. He said we have to act fast on possibly prosecuting people like, I think he's referring to Letitia James and James Comey, because that's what he's been posting about today. He posted about that a short while ago on True Social. He said one way or the other. Which seemed to suggest that he just wanted to just have a decision. But on social media today, he said what? Justice must be served? He said justice must be served now on social media. After talking about Adam Schiff, James Comey, and Letitia James. He said he was asked about the Tom Homan reporting, and he said he hadn't seen it. Okay, so he was asked about the Tom Homan report and said he had not seen it. Anyways, I'm glad we got to catch the Q&A. We got to catch the Q&A. People said they saw the nuclear football boarding. There's multiple helicopters there. There's at least 2. Trump is typing something. He is typing something. He's opening something up. He's zooming into something. He is zooming in on his phone. Trump is zooming in on his phone. Aspen Star thinks he's on Truth Social. Now he's talking on his phone. He is calling on the phone. He is going to a dinner. The American Cornerstone Institute Founders Dinner, says AFP. Do you know, I am not sure who is with him. I personally am not sure who is with him there. I don't know. Maybe I should know, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know all his staff. It could be a staff member. I didn't off the top of my head recognize who it was. Some people think it's his daughter. Some people thought it's Ivanka. Some people think it's Ivanka Trump. I couldn't tell. Is it Ivanka? But some people in our chat say not his daughter. I couldn't tell either way. The chat is arguing about whether it was his daughter or not. We have people in our chat very forcefully arguing either way. I didn't think it was Carolyn Levitt. Was she carrying the big bag? I don't know. Could be somebody who just works in the White House. Could be somebody who works in the White House. That went away. Let me go back and see when she walked out. All right, there's him. There's him. Yeah, so she's carrying a couple bags there. I mean, I'm guessing his daughter would not be carrying heavy bags. That would be a little weird. It didn't look like Carolyn Levitt to me, but whatever. Anyways, just so you can see. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4 people, 5 people, a bunch of people got on the helicopter, just to be clear. A bunch of people got on. All right, anyways. If you want to, you can rewind the broadcast and you can replay it again and again and again and see for yourself if you can figure out who it is. We're going to start wrapping this up. I already did all my goodbyes, but that was cool the way it worked out. We got to see President Trump take a few questions at the end of the stream, live. That was fun. That was cool. All right, we're wrapping this up. We're wrapping this up. If there's big news, we'll come back on the air. There's one thing I want to see here. I gotta eat something. I haven't eaten. Let me just check out one thing here before we wrap up. But I'll be keeping an eye on things tonight. There are some people protesting in Lima. It doesn't look like a very huge protest at the moment. Before we wrap up, I was going to maybe throw it on the screen. For those few of you who are still around, let me just see here. I really need to eat, though. AFP says there's a protest going on in Lima over insecurity and crime in central Lima. Let me just put it on the screen. Maybe we'll watch it for a second. Why not? We're here. This is the shot from Lima via AFP. See, there's people. This is a protest going on in Lima over insecurity and crime. I do not have much background about this. Looks like maybe they put some tear gas out there. This is from AFP. I really don't have much information on what is even going on here. I'm trying to look some stuff up. Yeah, I went to Lima. I didn't see protests when I was there. I was just reading a story about protests in Lima and protests in Peru like a few days ago. There were protests at Machu Picchu earlier this week. So I don't know if this is like I mean, some countries, they have regular protests about certain things in certain areas. I don't know about this. But I had the footage, so I figured I'd throw it up for a second here. Lima is a great city, by the way. It's fantastic. Had a great time there. Very cool place. All right, guys. Guys, I got to eat something. I got to eat. Oh, hold on. Well, let's watch this. It looks like the police are clearing them out. That's what it looks like to me. So we'll leave this on for a second. Looks like police are clearing them out of this area. So we'll watch this for a second. I didn't see anything like this when I was there. Yeah, it looks like they're just clearing out. I mean, look, you can definitely looks like they're clearing out the area. the broadcast froze, I think. I don't know, did it? The live might have frozen. The live seems to have frozen. Uh-oh. No, the live is back. You'll see it in a second. By the way, I saw some, guys, I've seen some speculation online. Maybe our viewers said this too. So I see some speculation online that President Trump may have been intending to send a message to Pam Bondi and posted it on True Social instead. I didn't think of this. And then he, hold on, then he posted another message about Pam Bondi. So look, this is very interesting. Earlier, President Trump posted, and it says Pam, and it's basically saying he wants people, it sounds like he's saying he wants Comey and Schiff and Letitia prosecuted. You know, I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying essentially, you know, all talk, no action. We can't delay anything any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me once. Justice must be served now. Now, is this meant to be a DM? I mean, it seemed like to me a little weird if that was meant to be a DM. But he, shortly after that, he posted, I didn't even see this, he said, Pam Bondi is doing a great job. Look. Pam Bondi is doing a great job. She is very careful, very smart, loves our country, but needs a tough prosecutor in the Eastern District of Virginia, like my recommendation, Lindsay Halligan, to get things moving. So did he post this because he accidentally posted a DM to her for the previous post? I don't know. Anyways, that's interesting. I got to post about that. All right, I got to wrap up this stream. Guys, I got to eat something. I have to eat something. I'm going to wrap up this stream. I really appreciate you joining me. I said the good nights already. If there's big news later, we'll come on the air and cover it. Thank you again to our mods. Thank you to all of you for watching. Thanks to everybody who donated. It is time to wrap it up. I will see you soon, and we will have more live coverage here. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Again, Jesse James, Laura Voltman, and Matt. And again, if there's big news, I will come on the air and cover it later. But I gotta go eat something. Thanks for watching. Nashville Lou, Jingo is me. Thanks for subscribing over there on Twitch. Maple Katsu, thanks for subscribing. And we are wrapping this up. We got to wrap it up. Mr. Bigley, incredible. Thanks for watching. But it is time. It is time. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.